Okay, we're going to work on big data today. Basically, what we have is campaign data. It's pretty big. Column A is company name, B is type of social media, description is followed, and month in column D, and number of responses in terms of social media's interactions. So we're going to organize them, and also we're going to use pivot tables and pivot charts. Okay, so let's follow the instruction. So campaign is our original data, and we're going to insert the table. Well, Excel is already table, but it's usually a good idea to insert a table when you have a large set of data. Okay, for example, here, what we're going to do is we're going to click Insert tab. Table is there, so I'm going to click that. Then you just click OK. So this area, whole area, work as a group. So you can do a lot of automatic execution of one cell. Execution of one cell or one column triggers other columns will follow. So that's the advantage of inserting a table within the Excel table. All right, anyway, let's follow that number 2, step number 2. So we're going to copy these campaigns and rename as filter with total row. And here we're going to insert a total row at the bottom. Okay, so make sure you're in the table design. All you have to just show total row, which will give you different types of calculations for column that has numbers. So right there, responses, we're going to use, for example, average. So you can choose any calculation you want to do, but I'm going to click average for this, and I'm going to type it in average instead of total. And I can reduce number of decimal places. Okay, so that's step number 2. Step number 3, we're going to work on subtotals. So again, copy this, rename as subtotals. And what we're going to do is we're going to insert subtotal, for example, each month. January, you have subtotal. February, you have subtotal all the way to December. At the same time, within January, you're going to insert subtotal for different type of social media. So it'll show as Facebook subtotal, Twitter subtotal, Pinterest subtotal within each month. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So first thing we need to do is we need to get rid of this table that we created, because with this formatting we cannot do subtotals. As you can see, it's grayed out. So we need to remove this formatting, which is table. So all you do is on the table design, click convert to range. Then you click yes. So you don't have any filter thing anymore. The first step, next step will be sort month and type. Okay, so I'm going to click data tab, sort, and insert month first. For month, we need to sort by January, February, March, and all that order rather than A to Z, right? So I'm going to click custom list and select the last one with the January, February, March. And I'm going to insert type so that we can sort the type but this time in ascending order. Okay, so I'm going to click OK. So as you can see, month is sorted, type column is sorted. Okay, now we're going to click subtotal right there. I'm going to select month, the first at the top, use function as for calculation you want to do. Third box, you need to click the column that you want to use for calculation, basically a number column, which is responses. Then what you do is click OK. So as you can see, January, February, all the way to December at the bottom will have grand total. Now we're going to insert subtotal for type, with type, right? Within January, February, and all that. So I'm going to click again subtotal, select type in the first box, second box still using sum, third area responses. However, here be careful, you need to get rid of this replace current subtotals. Okay, that's very important. Let's remove this box and click OK. So as you can see, within January you have Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter subtotal. Within February you have Facebook, Pinterest, and all that, all the way to December. Right? So I'm gonna, actually I didn't save it, so let me save it. Okay, next tab, which is number 4. So we're gonna do some pivot table from now. So from campaigns, we're gonna create a pivot table, but one thing here different from other exercises, you need to looking at the output in terms of screenshot there, then you're gonna bring it out of this pivot table. Or if you just follow the wording, you can do it, but it's sometimes tricky. So that's why I added screenshot. So by looking at screenshot, you can do it reverse. So I'm going to click Insert, Pivot Table. Then you click OK. Then as you can see, screenshot, we have month. Actually, is the name selected? Name is not selected. Type is selected. Month is selected. Responses are selected. So idea is these are the available columns, and by placing one or more columns in these sections, you show the pivot table as you intended. Okay, so by looking at screenshot, it doesn't look like this, right? So month going vertically, so looks like type will go to column. Then month will stay in rows. So that's basically what we want as if you look at screenshot, right? Only difference is there's some cell style right here. So otherwise it looks almost same. Okay. All right. One more thing, we have a pivot chart. So pivot chart is easy to use because it's pivot chart toolbar is right there. So all you do is just click pivot chart and it'll take care of inserting pivot chart, but you just choose which kind of type you want. But we're going to use line chart. So that's it. Click OK. All right. And you're going to save this as pivot table chart by month, right? Step 5, another pivot table. So go back to campaigns, We're going to insert PivotTable. And this time, let's see what we're going to use. We're going to use, we're going to need type again, name, no, sorry, description, and month. It's not there. Responses, of course, right? So all you do is just, again, just move this column around. I think type goes to the column, right? So that's more like it. And one more thing is we're going to insert month as a filter. So here's a month goes to the filter so that month showing at the top in terms of filter, right? Additionally, we have slicer. Slicer is another user interface that you can use as another way of organizing your data. So slicer is right here, actually in this area, filter, right? Insert slicer. And we're going to insert slicer with type and click OK. So you can just set it just like that, or you can reduce the size. If you want the exact numbers, you can type it in height or width in terms of inch. Okay. Also, you can apply different color or different style if you wish. Actually, we have another slicer for month. So I'm going to go back to design. Analyze, insert slicer, month. So there you go. Then there's additional step, resize, and all that. So just follow the instruction in step 5. And you're going to save it as response analysis, right? Step 6. Step 6 is similar. The only difference is inserting different kinds of number calculation. Okay, so let's do that. Campaigns, insert, pivot table, okay. This time we're going to insert name. We have type, no, yes, no description. Month is not there. Let me go back. Actually, there's no type. And responses, of course, right? However, if you see the screenshot, there's third column, we have percent of responses, okay? So that's where we're gonna create that. So we're gonna click responses and drag over to value section so that you can change this second responses to percent. So what you do is just click that, click value field settings, and we're gonna make it as a percent. Click show value as, and the percent will be, there are different kinds of percent, so we need to choose percent of column total, percent of column total, okay? Because you can, when you calculate percent, it could be grand total, could it be column total, could it be row total, right? So that's why we need to make sure it is what you want, percent of column total, according to instruction, okay? And of course, the label must be percent of responses. Okay, click OK. So as you can see, percent of responses created, and third column. And there's a couple of slicers actually for type and month. So make sure, I'm sure you know how to insert at this point, inserting a slicer right there. So insert slicer for type and month and make it just like screenshot we have there. Okay, so if you have any questions, let me know.